Do you shop for canned meat for your prepper pantry? Do you have a plan? How much canned meat do you need? Do you need 10 cans, 100 cans, 1,000 cans? How much of your storage food should be protein? How much of your protein should be meat? How much of your meat should be canned meat? If you'd like to have a plan for your canned meat purchases, then this video is for you. Now, the plan of this video isn't to give you a guide or a sheet that says to get this many cans of chicken and this many cans of roast beef. This video is to give you a guide or a way to organize your canned meat shopping, if canned meat is the way that you're going to get your protein from animals. Now, step one is to figure out how many calories per person per year that you want to put in your prepper pantry. I'm going to put a food storage calculator on the screen to show you one method of going about determining the number of calories per person per year. Now, on the screen you see a food storage calculator, and if you want to read what it's saying, you can hit the pause button, read it, and then click play. But this is a guide, and I will put a link to this in the description below. You can put in the number of people you're going to be prepping for, getting food for, hit the calculate button, and it will give you a list of foods that is suggested that you have. This is just one way to figure out the number of calories per person per year. I will calculate the number of calories for the numbers that you see on the screen, and I'll give that to you on a slide here just momentarily. And here are those numbers from the food calculator. As you can see, 400 pounds of grain, and these are estimates, and you can find higher and lower totals for some of these things. And then the total, 1,049,680, or about 1,050,000 calories. And here is a video, which I will put a link to in the description below, in which we go through our method here of choosing the number of calories per person per year. It's a good video, suggest you watch it. And I will go ahead and give you the answer to the question, how many calories did we decide? 1 million calories per person per year. And that's just an average for the number of people that we're prepping for. That includes large, small, young, old, male, female. Just an average. So that's step one. Step two is to determine how many of those calories you want to be from protein. And to do that, you may try to follow some particularly popular diet plan like paleo or keto or South Beach diet or whatever. Or you can just decide we want to have X number of our calories or percentage of our calories from protein, 10%, 20%, 30%, or whatever it might be. So let's look at doing that for a moment. And to do this, you got to figure out what kind of a menu or diet plan you're going to be working with. And when I say diet plan, I don't mean a lack of food. I mean the plan you're going to follow. Here's some examples. You might choose one of these. You may have already chosen one of these, or you might just do your own thing. Any and all the above will work just fine. But you do need to figure out what percent of your calories you want to come from protein. I'm going to add one more to the list. There you see it, the zone diet. Used to be popular, not sure if it still is or not, but it fits the parameters, so to speak, of what we're going to do here. And here's the breakdown. 40% carbs, 30 fat, 30 protein. So 30% protein. We're not following the zone diet plan here, but that 30% is about what we're aiming for, so that's what we're going to use through the rest of our example. So now we know that we want 30% of our calories to come from protein, and our number of calories per person per year is 1 million calories. So now let's look at and talk just a minute about protein in general before we get on to the next step. There are complete proteins and incomplete proteins. So what is a complete protein? It has all the essential amino acids that your body needs. These are amino acids that you can't produce, you have to take in, that you have to get from your diet. Examples of complete proteins are here. Animal meats, animal products, and some of the other grain type things you see on the list on your screen. Does that mean that all your protein has to come from those sources? No, you can combine incomplete proteins, such as what you're going to see on the screen. And because you can combine incomplete proteins to make a complete protein for your body, you do not then have to get every gram of protein from animal products. Therefore, you can get a lot of your protein from just grains and beans, seeds, and nuts. Now we'll move on and try to figure out how many calories of protein or grams of protein we actually want from meat products, and for this video, canned meat products. As a reminder, we have decided 1 million calories per person per year times 30% of those calories from protein equals 300,000 calories from protein. 300,000 calories of protein divided by 4 calories, which is what you have in a gram of protein, equals 75,000 grams of protein. So now, step 3, determining the percent of your protein calories you want to be from meat. So remember, we get protein from more than just meat. Here is the numbers that we saw from the food calculator a little bit earlier in the video. And you can see I went through the math and it comes out to 29,800 grams of protein. We were looking for 75,000 grams, if you recall. Let's just look at the simple way of doing this. And if you want to take the time to make it very detailed, that would be great. That's fine. But some of us just don't have that much time or patience. The numbers on the screen show you that what we've done so far, just using the food calculator, comes out to be about 11 to 12% of the calories overall from protein. A little bit short of our 30% that we wanted. And these grams of protein only came from grains, legumes, and powdered milk. There's no animal meats in here, no canned meats, no eggs, no protein powders, no seeds, nuts, these things. So when you include these other things into your storage foods, you're going to get a lot more than just 10, 11, 12% of your calories from protein. Step 4, make things simple. 1,000 calories per person per year times 30% protein equals 300,000 calories from protein. That equals 75,000 grams of protein. Instead of getting very specific, just accept a 25 to 35% level of protein, knowing you're going to be somewhere around the 30% mark, if that's your goal. You'll have somewhere then between 250,000 to 350,000 calories from protein. That will vary depending upon whether you have more beans, legumes, or more grains, and it will vary also depending upon the grains, as some have more protein content than others. So just use a rough estimate and you'll get to where you want to be. So to keep it simple, if you will aim for roughly 15% of your calories from canned meat, that will be 150,000 calories of protein from the canned meat, or 37,500 grams of protein from canned meat. Overall, this will, along with your grains, your legumes, will give you a range somewhere of 27 to 30%, maybe a little more, of your calories from protein. And from this, you can make yourself a shopping list if you want this much chicken, this much roast beef, this much that, this much of the other thing. You won't have to get all bogged down with percentages, how many exact calories and grams of protein and so forth. You will find life, prepping life, Prepper Pantry shopping life will be much simpler, and you will come out very nearly to reaching your goal. As they say, your mileage may vary depending upon whether you choose 30% protein or 20% or 15% or whatever it is that you choose. To summarize, first, determine how many calories per person per year you want to have, then determine the percent of calories you want of that to be from protein, convert those calories to grams of protein, then plan on 1/3 to 1/2 of your grams of protein that you want to come from the canned meats, and then make your shopping list. Be prepared. I'm going to give you a couple of examples right after this. You might decide to cut back on your amount of protein, and or you might decide to use other sources of protein other than canned meats. You'll also see how important it could be to grow and produce your own livestock. In any event, here come the examples. You'll see what I'm talking about. First, let's look at white chicken. This is a can of chicken from one of the dollar stores. $1 a can. 2.5 servings per container, 8 grams protein per serving. So our goal of 37,500 grams of protein divided by 20 grams per can equals 1,875 cans at $1 a can is $1,875. Next, Keystone beef. 14 servings per container, 11 grams of protein per serving. Our 37,500 grams of protein divided by 154 grams per can of this equals 244 cans at $8.28 a can, or $2,020. I told you, you might want to consider other sources of protein. Right? Now you see why. Nevertheless, it is a simple thing to figure out how many cans of canned meat that you want to put in your Prepper Pantry.